Hi guys, this is April, Dr. McNeil here again. I wanted to just first thank you guys for leaving the wonderful comments and just the words of encouragement on my last video when I talked about my journey through medicine. I really truly appreciate it. I wanted to do that video and start this channel so that I could fulfill one of the passions in my heart to be a mentor. But because, as you know, as a resident, you can't mentor so many people at once, but maybe I can use YouTube as a platform to do that. And I greatly appreciate the support and the comments that I received on the video. Well, as I told you in the last video, I wanted to do a video to kind of tell you what I learned from that journey. So here it is. These are going to be keys to your success in your career, no matter what field choice. So the very first thing that I feel like you need to do or have in order to be successful in your career journey is to have a vision and recognize your purpose in life. So with me, I've always wanted to work with young people and families, but because of what I feel my strengths are, I thought it would be best to do that in the realm of health. Because although I can help you with your illnesses, I also can make an impact on the health of families by teaching young people how to live healthy lifestyles and to maintain health throughout their lives. But as you know, based on my last video, things didn't go as smoothly as for me to get to that goal. But I knew that my purpose was to be able to help families and children through medicine. So the very first thing that you need to have to be successful in your career is to have a vision and a purpose. So ask yourself, what do you want your life to look like? When you come home every day, what will fulfill you? Here, this is my first day off in 14 days, but I'm super excited to go back to work tomorrow. You know, the things that I'm learning, the things that I'm being taught, and the impact that I can have on my patients' lives is what drives me in the morning. So that 10-year journey is so minute in comparison until actually being able to walk out my dreams. What is it in you that makes you that passionate? And write it down. Hey, write the vision and make it plain, right? Number 2, make sure you develop a great support system. And that comes in many different flavors. Sometimes it's family members, sometimes it's friends, maybe it's mentors, but it's very important for you to be successful is to have that good support system. One of my mentors, which hopefully you guys will get to meet on YouTube one day, told me to write down what was my executive board of people that I felt would support me in different areas of my life. And one of those things were, do you have dream keepers and do you have dream killers? And I can honestly say my family and friends are the most amazing dream keepers that I could ever ask for. Things got tough, things got rough, and I didn't feel like going on. It was those people in my life that kept me going. Gave me advice, gave me money, gave me the little push in my bump that I needed to continue to go on. But unfortunately, sometimes in your life, you'll also have those dream killers. One of the most significant things that I can think of in my journey was on the pre-matriculation program, the one that I didn't get into. When I missed the grade by 2 points, I went to that particular professor to talk to them. And this is what she told me. Being a doctor is not for everybody. Why don't you become a nurse? Now, there's nothing wrong with nurses. I really feel like nurses, you guys are the heart and the backbone of medicine because you do the day-to-day and are with the patient so much more than what we are. But it's this thing. She tried to kill my dream. And those type of people you need to make sure that they are not in your lives. And sometimes those dream killers may be family members or friends. So it's not mean that you have to totally take them out your life, but you have to put them at a distance, especially when it comes to you pursuing your goals and dreams in life. Number 3, have honest self-evaluation and be willing to make constructive changes in your life. As you saw in my last video, I told you about me really recognizing that I lacked the fundamentals that it took to do well on the MCAT in order to make a good score. And what I realized is someone asked in the comments of the last video, what were those fundamentals? Well, one, I lacked a good study ethic. Number two, I didn't know my learning style to even study effectively. And then number three, just procrastination and not being diligent in actually studying, turning off the TV, not looking on social media, all those type of things I would feed into those things that distracted me rather than focusing on those things that it would take for me to study well. So that was one of the self-evaluations I had. Also, I recognized that I needed help, that I couldn't do it by myself. And that's why I eventually ended up going to a post-bac program where I was around like-minded people who were coordinated to the same goal. So once I acquired my learning style, start building up my study and work ethic, I was able to actually put a plan in place that would allow me to effectively prep for the MCAT. So you have to kind of evaluate where you are, where are those holes, where are you lacking, so that you can seek out the necessary resources so that you can start filling those gaps. Number 4, be teachable and be flexible. One of the things that I've recognized just over the few years I've been in the world, that a lot of times things that hinder people from being successful is that they think they know everything. If you knew everything, you would be exactly where you think you should be. So be teachable, seek out mentors, seek out people who have gone that route before and have been successful, and see what their advice is. They may recognize some things in you that you don't see in yourself that you can, take in, digest, and see if you want to utilize it for your career or for your journey. And be flexible. There's never one path to get to an end. So see, there might be multiple things that you could explore in order for you to be able to accomplish your goal. Then, number 5, be prepared that when your plan derails, to be able to go back to that vision and that purpose that you set for yourself to get you back on track. And that's why having a vision and a plan is so important, because no one can come in your life and derail you. No circumstance can take you totally off your journey, because you can self-evaluate, get yourself back in line with what you set for your purpose and your vision in your life was, and get back on track. So I told you I took the MCAT 7 times. And you have to recognize, because I got a good score, you would think, oh, I could go to, a good number or get accepted to a good number of schools. But that actually didn't happen for me. Because I had taken the MCAT so many times, I didn't look as good or favorable to some institutions that someone who may have only taken the MCAT once or twice. So in that sense, you would think that, oh, my plan is derailed, things are not going the way that they should. But going back to being flexible, and going back to your plan, what is your purpose? What's your goal? Your goal is to get into medical school and to be a physician. So then you be able to set your priorities align with your plan and your purposes, and your feelings won't get hurt. And I think it's because many of us think just because we're grinding or we're doing all of the right things, we're taking all of the necessary steps to be successful, they think, oh, everything should just come in line the way that I expect them to. But that's not always the case. You have to be willing that if your plan doesn't go the way that you want it to go, that you're still press on and you get back in line and keep pushing through. And my last point, to be successful, you have to stay hopeful and know that all things are going to work together for your good in the end. If you have a vision and have a plan, you make it plain. You have a good supportive system around you. You have an honest, I think this is key, self-evaluation of yourself and be willing to make constructive changes for the better. You'll be so far ahead of the game. It's very hard to look at yourself in the mirror and see your flaws and be willing to do what it takes in order to actually change some things about yourself. Number 4, you need to be teachable and flexible and humble in this process, because if you don't, it will not, you just won't make it. Because people are more willing to help you to get to your goals when they know that you appreciate and respect their thoughts and their advice that they give you. You also need to have persistence and the willingness and the perseverance to continue on track even when your plan does not look how you thought it should look. Which takes me back to all things will work together. Now, my journey was 10 years, actually 14 technically. Yours may only be 3 months, or it might be 20, but just know in the end, all things work together for your good, and stay hopeful and stay persistent. So that's all this time, guys. I hope that this will benefit someone. Please subscribe, like this video, but also put your comments in below. I can't always answer everything, but I want to try my best to take the comments and the questions that you put below and make a video about it so that I can address it for everybody going through similar things that you are. So again, I greatly appreciate you viewing in. Please subscribe and like and share this video with someone that you feel like this would be an encouragement to. Thank you for your time and be blessed. Bye.